Hey, welcome! Today's video is based on yesterday's continuation. I'm so glad that you're here, and we're going to have a great time. So today we're going to be hand stitching the bag finally, the tube, and we're going to be, running into any problems and fixing them as, as it goes on. But it's going to be relatively problem-free. And rooting for no problems, just prepared in case anything happens. Thanks for being here. I'm so glad that you're here with us today. So we're just gonna start now. All right, stick around, and I hope you enjoy the show. Thank you. Bye. All right. I'm excited, as you can tell. So we're gonna get our tools out here, and hand stitching is it's one of those things that you do and you just get better at it. All right. So what we need to be doing is, 1 second. All right, 1 second. So this piece here has it's glued together, but that's not going to be good enough. All right, there you go. So what I need to do is punch holes and stitch this piece together. So, but what we want to do is find which thread we're going to be using. So there's a couple options actually. We have hand stitching thread. There's also machine thread. And the thing about it is with machine thread, you just want to use wax, beeswax, and you want to apply it to the thread, and that just helps for like working. It makes it nicer whenever you're working. So we're definitely going to be using this. If we use hand stitching thread, then we're still going to need this. So I'm going to pull this out, place it right there. Of course, we're going to need these. I just want to make sure I only have the tools out that I need and keep this pretty clutter free. We're going to need this, the wing divider. We're going to need these. These pliers are going to help us to grab the needle if it's a little bit tight. So, yep. We're also gonna want a stitching awl just in case. Scratch awl. I guess it's called a scratch awl. And then we don't need this. We do need our scissors. And a pencil, just in case we need to make any marks. Or pen as well. That should be about it. Yeah, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is put my tools that I want in my cylinder here. Just like that. All right, and then I'm going to put these away. We're also going to be needing, I picked these up. These are called button stud screw back. They used to call them Sam Brown studs, but I guess that was a little bit too, I don't know. I'm just kidding. I don't know why they switched the name. But this is what they look like. And then they have this part here. It screws in. Little flathead. So we're going to punch the holes for this. And then I got my D-rings right here. Rivets. And then the other stud. All right. So first off, we're going to pick the proper thread. Let me get a piece of leather. So the thing is, I'm going to want something, a color that complements not only the leather itself, the pattern, what the heck? My wax fell. The leather, the dye, the hardware. And so I think I'm going to go with black. So this is called main cord. Yeah, this is waxed. It's called main thread, but it's cord. And so this stuff has, it's already waxed, of course. And it's pretty thick. It's not super thick. It's 0.30 of an inch. And so what this gives you is it gives you the durability, strength, longevity. And as this piece gets older, it's going to start to blend better. This also won't change color. The only problem, and it actually matches the images really well. So I'm going to use that. Now what we need to do is we need to pick some, we need to pick the proper needles. Oh yeah, and then we need a stitching pony. So this thing here is called a stitching pony, if you've never seen it. Saddle stitcher. I don't know, I think I'm calling it the wrong thing, but what this does here is it's like a hand holding the piece for you. So you would put the leather you're working with in here. There's a knob on this side. You'd loosen it. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. If you know then you know. And you want to tighten it, and then clamping it down is like a very big part. You can do it without clamping it, but it oftentimes just slides around. And so what I like to do is I like to utilize my clamp right here for this light, and I'll open it up, shove it under there, and I'll torque it down. That actually works pretty well. What that allows me to do is I can move this light and supply a light source where I'm working, and that works out pretty good. Excuse me. Thank you. All right, so just gonna move this. Okay, perfect. So now the question is where I want this. I think that's a good location right there. That will give me enough work room on both sides. Make sure you drink your water. Hydrate or die. Pick and choose. All right, let's see. Let's get you some lighting. And then I'm going to reposition you. Hey, how's that? Looks pretty good to me. Okay, so queso. That's good. But what we need to do first is pick our piece up. we need to remember to do it vertically whenever we're punching the holes. These. Oh yeah, we'll pick our what the heck, needle thickness in a little bit from now. Just gonna go ahead and mark this. So I want it to be the same dimension or the same distance. So I'm gonna go to the end of the hole, place a mark. Same thing on both sides. And then with this, careful, no need to rush. And then this, oh yeah. All right, that's good. We actually don't need this anymore. So, mallet, that's what I need. Spectre. I took my car and got it washed, and I vacuumed it out. You want to see it? It's it looks pretty nice. Yep, very beautiful. And the tires look nice as well. Nice and shiny. You can see. Matches my microphone right here. All right. And also it matches my anvil. You can see it. All right, so we're going to very carefully take our little prongs, chisel. We want to do this nice and easy. No sudden movements. Make sure it's vertical. Perfect. Look at that. Imagine this thing stabbing through your skin. Just kidding. Shouldn't have said that. Your leather. All right. Place it. And then give it a good tap. It's all right. One more. Perfect. That'll be okay right there. So what you can do is you know what? I'm gonna redraw these lines a little bit further in. I don't want to run into cutting the edge. Cool. All right, so place it. Vertical. You know, I'm really enjoying streaming every day. There's something about consistency, a schedule, if you would. Having um, having something that's repeatable, you know, doing it every day. I've actually, I guess the brain rot culture, you know, what's currently on social media, and it causes you to, I don't know, it's not really conducive for health, for psychological well-being. Um, and it might be because it doesn't really motivate you to have consistency in your life. It might be because like you spend your days watching videos, stay up late, and unless you have to be somewhere, you don't really have a desire to go, or sorry, to wake up at a reasonable time, you know? And yes, I'm doing these in the evening. Probably gonna change to the earlier times. Still figuring that out. But at least this has given me, you know, it's given me something that I can, some stability for sure. A lot of people value stability, I can tell. I'm gonna take my watch off. This watch is a Grand Seiko. If you don't know anything about Grand Seiko, they are they actually beat the Swiss in the Swiss watch competitions. I think they were called like the watch trials. This one here has a champagne dial. Oh my gosh, come on, focus. But they are accurate to plus or minus 10 seconds per year, which is excellent. And this one here was a gift from my sister. And it's really nice. It keeps the time well. I don't think I've updated the month since it changed, but yeah, I really like this watch. It's a little bit tight on my wrist because I had it adjusted in the winter time, but this one's called the SBGX263, I believe. and it's a quartz, so it keeps time very well. But this isn't like an ordinary quartz watch. Ordinary quartz watches, whenever you take them to get serviced, the serviceman, woman, the watch, the person, they will actually, most of the time, they'll throw away the old quartz movement. But this quartz movement it has 9 gems, and it actually, they build it next to the spring drive movements, which are like the best in the world. And yeah, and then they do this polishing to it called Zaratsu polishing. Wish you could see it better. Focus. Oh, almost. Come on. Focus. Okay, whatever. But I mean, wearing it over time, it starts to get scratches, which I don't mind it anymore. It actually gives it, it looks cool. It's good. But it gets a little bit tight, so I take it off. Let's put it over here. And actually, the the holes lined up pretty well. It ended good. It started good. You can see it kind of stretching the leather. Whenever I stitch it, it'll pull it tight. Whenever you're hand stitching leather, you want to make sure that you mind how hard you're pulling the threads, because leather likes to stretch. It's able to conform to molds, and it's able to do different things. Oh, one other note about the watch, the Grand Seiko, is that quartz movement has a service life of 50 years, some people say. I don't know I think I've heard them mention it, but what that means is that you don't need to take it to get serviced for 50 years, which is it's amazing, And if you've been considering getting a quartz Grand Seiko, that's considered a high accuracy quartz, and you can't go wrong with it. It's not cheap. The materials are great. It's super accurate. It's basically a watch. It's like a normal guy's watch. Like, you can wear it. I can be wearing it in like a suit, or I could wear it with a t-shirt and jeans, and just using it every day. I can always count on it to be accurate. They have different models. They have ones that are GMT, and so you have a couple different hands. I think you have 2 different hands. One of them will display a select time for a different part of the country, or a different part of the world, I should say. And you know, there's different things, but all in all, the Grand Seikos are really nice. But you know, you can always go with the regular Seikos. Those ones are also super good. They actually put Seiko ended up giving the trains in Japan each Seikos, I heard like a long time ago, and the train would give somebody a note to give to their employer if they were ever late, because the Seikos were always on time. All right, guys and girls, we got it. So there we go. That's all of the holes for this. Now we're going to put it on our saddle stitcher, whatever you call it, Epona. This is Epona. And we're going to pick our, so what we want to do is see the largest needle, if it can go through. Okay, so it does. It might have a little bit of trouble whenever I'm putting it through the second one, because I'm going to use two of these. If you've never seen this process before, it's really cool. So let me just clean up my workspace. Okay. You little closer. There we go. If you have any problems, speak up or forever hold your peace. So I'm going to get these out. For sure I'm going to need these. So put them there. People say you can use the stitching awl and just go through and open up the holes. We might not need to do it, but just in case, I'm going to have this ready. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Make my life easier. When I was dyeing and doing all of the finishing techniques on this leather, it kind of closed the holes up a little bit. You know, I'm just gonna do this later. All right, so what you want to do is you want to take the distance of how much you're stitching and multiply it times 3.5 or 4. The smaller pieces, I usually do it 4 times, but sometimes you can get away with 3.5. So there we go. And then here. All right, so now you have your distance. And then what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4. Take your scissors. Oops. Clip that. And then put it through the eye of the tiger, or sorry, the eye of the needle. And then now you want to take your needle and you want to stick it through the middle of the thread. Push it through. You can do this a couple different ways. You just want to do it the way that works. So one of the ways you can do it is you lay it on something, a surface. You try to flatten it out. And then you're going to push the needle in. All right, so it's about halfway through. Oh. So take your fingers and you want to, you know what, I'm going to pull it back further just so it doesn't fray and rip. It's usually hardest the first time. You can also push down with the needle while pulling up the thread. Oh, there we go. Okay. So you see? Now, this part, make sure this is straight. You don't want it to be twirling around the needle. Go like that. And then you want to slide the loop over. And then what you get is it's like it's infused now inside of itself. All right, then you have that. And if this is too thick, then it'll be really difficult to go through the hole. So what we're going to do is put it right here on the magnet. And we're going to put the needle on the other side. And I might actually just run this thread through the wax again. I might. That'll help it not tangle and stuff. Come on. Come on. Oh. You don't really want to damage the cord. So it was 94 degrees outside today. Wow, the sky's really beautiful. It was 94 degrees out today, and it's made it super warm in here. If I didn't have any AC though, man, it would be like hell in here. Okay, cool. So took a little bit of persuading, but kind of it worked. Perfect. All right, so once you apply the wax, just gonna go back over it. And use the heat of friction to infuse the wax into the cord. All right, cool. So now the most important part about this is that you do it the same exact way every single time. So if I put the thread in, or sorry, the needle in, and then I put the needle behind the thread, come back through the same hole, one behind the other, I want to make sure that I replicate that on the next hole. Otherwise, you'll get it to where the threads aren't perfectly straight. They'll be like slightly cattywampus. And basically, it's kind of like the mark of a beginner. You know, is when your threads don't all look the same. And here we go. So you put the first needle through. Second one. Oh, wait, hold on. It's been a little bit since I've done this. I want to go back through the same hole. And actually, what we need to do first is level these out, same length. And you want to do it on the same side, going forward or backwards. Okay, perfect. So then I go through. And now what I do is I will take the, what I'll do is I'll take the thread and wrap it in front of the needle. I'll go in front of the needle like this, and then I will push it, pull it through. And then I'll do like light yanks. I mean, slightly firm, but don't pull too hard. Next, remember to do the same exact thing. And I'll actually go in just a little bit, pull on the thread that I just pushed through to make sure that it's not sticking through the thread. The needle isn't stabbing through the thread. There we go. And then next, that's to ensure that I don't bind up the thread whenever I'm working. It's actually super frustrating whenever you stab your needle through the thread if you've never done it before. Forward. Okay, and now that's the basic rundown. Enjoy. Here we go. Saddle stitching is one of the strongest methods of stitching. One of the main factors in the reason why is because each thread and hole is locked together in itself. So yeah, it's still part of the same thread, but it's much more difficult. And they use it on saddles, of course, with the name. What I like about using waxed thread is it puts a wax residue on my fingers, and it allows me to have better traction whenever I grip the needle, and I can actually pull it pretty good. I think the waxed thread also makes it more waterproof. You still have a small gap in each hole, but the cord, fills up the majority of the space. And actually, you can tap it with a hammer after, and that's actually the best way to lock it in. Because right now the threads are slightly sticking out, just ever so slightly, and you can feel it if you rub your finger across it. Like a hair or something. Cut it. So you can either work continuing and push on the top of this, or you can pull your piece out towards you more, or push it further and work on that side. So we'll just keep going, and if I run into any problems, I'll just adjust. What I like about this saddle stitching is it causes me to have good posture because I'm not like hunched over. So I can really work on my posture in this position. This saddle stitcher is one of the first machines that I got. Yes, it's wood, but you know, it's mechanical. It has a little knob here. It uses springs, different things. So this is one of the first pieces that I got. And I went to Hobby Lobby initially, and I went to go pick up some leather stuff. And there was a guy there. He ended up giving me like a quick rundown of how leatherworking works. And it was like, I don't know, it was like a divine appointment. It was really cool. And so I ended up getting this machine, or I guess saddle stitcher. And yeah, there's a lesson in this though. So using what you have. In our culture, we have a very materialistic view of things. And it's not really just materialistic, it's more, one second. We have this consumerism approach to life. You know, like you could have for instance, a pocket knife, or a purse if you're a girl, or whatever. You know, girls have pocket knives too, some of them. So you could have, we'll just use a pocket knife as an example. So you could have a pocket knife, and it's a good pocket knife. Like you're not gonna survive the apocalypse with it. You're not gonna go to war, have to fight for your life with it. You know, you could have the cheapest pocket knife in the world, as long as it holds an edge, you know, and it's good. As long as it doesn't break on the tasks that you put it through, like this one, for instance. I have this pocket knife. It's a Swiss Army knife, and it has 4 tools inside of it. It has one large knife, one small knife, they both open all the way. It's a little bit of hair pocket lint in there. And I have 2 screwdrivers. These both open all the way as well. So this knife here, with hairs on it, this knife is going to last me until I die. As long as I maintain it, you know, sharpen it, and if there's any rust, scrub it off, oil it if I ever need to oil it, which I haven't oiled it ever. But this knife has so many functions. You can use this thing for scraping carbon off of, if you're cleaning your gun. That's what I use it for a lot. Also for big flathead screws. And this little one, I can use it to take down a Glock, or take down like a Springfield Armory pistol. You know, take out the firing pin, because there's a little tiny groove that you push this into, you pull it back, and it allows you to take the back plate off. As well, there's this. This is a can opener, I guess. I've never used it for that purpose. I've probably used it for other things. But this knife here can do everything that there's hairs all over it. It can do everything that I need it to. And I don't really need, and I have another knife. Look, I have this one. This knife is cool. This is from, I forgot who makes this, but dude, look at this thing. So this thing is, it's actuated on a, it's called an out the front knife. And so, This knife, I probably will never need it. This is for like fighting people, for defending your life. If you ever have to protect yourself. This is like the last thing though that you want to use. I mean, the last thing you want to use to protect your life or protect other people is a stick or a rock. But like, this knife here, it's made out of D2 tool steel, which is a Chinese tool steel. It's really sharp. The handle has this texture on it, which makes it slightly grippy. The texture, though, is painted on. Well,
Hi. Can you true or well, I'll do it.
Oh, okay. So this handle is wearing over time. But the thing is that this knife, I'll never need to use it to its full capabilities. I'll never break it, and I'll probably never have to use it for defense or offense, whatever, And but it comes back to this tool here. So I could always invest in a more expensive version of this that has its own clamp or whatever. But until I need it, I'm not going to. And so that's what the consumerism mindset getting out of it, And so, but these are two knives. These are the only two that I'll ever need. Like this one is a backup. It's like if you have to fight to get to your gun and someone's on top of you, hopefully you can get to this or whatever. I mean, and then this one, it can do all of my tasks that I need it for. Like I haven't found any other task that this doesn't fulfill. And if it doesn't fulfill a task, then I just get something else like a hammer or really anything else. But this saddle stitcher here is actually pretty good. But it took me a little bit of time to get out of the consumerism mindset approach to life. Because oftentimes, like I'll watch YouTube videos, and it's like the whole world is screaming at me. No, not me, but the whole world is screaming to buy the newest thing. Like if you're into guns, then you might get sold believing that you need a semi-automatic pistol with 15, 17, 21, however many rounds, even 10 or 12. And it just depends on what you need. You might need it. Like some reasons that you might need it are if you live in a really dangerous area and you might be fighting 5 people at one time. And I mean, there's arguments for revolvers. If you're a good shot, you can lay 1 or 2 rounds on each target. And you can reload. You can use psychological warfare. You can go for the biggest target first, the leader of the pack. You can do different things. So, but consumerism, like you might have a Glock 19 from 10, 15, 20, 30, however many years ago that they came out. And that Glock might serve you well. You don't need to really do anything to it. You could upgrade the sights, but are you ever fighting in the dark? I mean, around your house, you might need them. You can always turn a light on. You could carry a flashlight. You could do so many ways, but we've been suckered into falling for the consumerism lie that we need these things. But like what's really great about the consumerism world is if you want the best thing, you can go online and you can research the best thing. And you can buy whenever you're ready to buy a gun, or you're ready to buy a knife, or you're ready to buy a car or a motorcycle, or you're ready to buy a house, you're ready to buy anything, clothes, shoes, hats. You can, I know that's kind of excessive, but you can actually go online, and people have been doing it for ages. I just people have been doing marketing and advertising for free for these companies through their consumerism mindset, and you can find the best deal even, and that's a good thing. It's just going back to the roots, like investing in a revolver, for instance. That's something that has been like really like there's a term that people have used more recently. It's called Roman Empire. I'm sure you're familiar with it. If you're not, it's where you have something that you're thinking about all the time that's kind of like, you know, I don't really know how to explain it actually. But so with the revolver, okay? Here I have it. Right back. So with this revolver, this thing's from 1971. It shoots a 38 special. That was considered. Someone was saying this, and I really like it, so I'm going to use it. Is the guy Gun Sam Revolver Aficionado? He has a YouTube channel. He was saying that the 38 special was the magnum of the day, and so this gun here was what the 38 special cartridge was what ended the Miami shootout. There was some criminals, and I don't know. I might be telling you like false. I'm pretty sure though that it was the gun that ended the Miami shootout. But the 38 special today is considered weak, and it's considered like not good. But in reality, this thing was made back then, and it did a lot of defensive use, put a lot of people, in the ground. They say I wasn't there, but this thing has black sights. This is the black gun of the day. So it has black sights front and back. I would color them with like nail polish or whatever gold paint, but I haven't had the need to yet. The places that I use this are at the shooting range, and then even at home I can aim it. Even without being able to see the front sight, I know that I'm holding true. And this gun holds 6 rounds. But I really like this one because whenever I go to the range, I can load like one bullet at a time, shoot one at a time for marksmanship practice. And it's actually really beautiful. This one here has still has really good condition bluing. You can see there's some fingerprints, but this thing's like new, and it was just taken care of well. But this has 6 rounds. You could do anything like with this amount. I mean, you don't want to use this in a modern conflict, but I'm not ever getting in modern conflicts. I'm not ever fighting for my life. I mean, when the day comes that if I ever need to use this, then my practice of shooting one shot at a time, at the range, it'll give me accuracy. I can even get out of there if I have to or whatever. But This here's like reverse consumerism. I mean, yes, I did buy it, so I'm consuming, but with this, I'm even shooting at the range and for home defense. At the range, I'll use full metal jackets, but these are wad cutters. So the old school cap and ball revolvers, they shot a round ball, and whenever it did its thing, then it penetrated deeply. It smushed down, became larger, it deformed, and it was super effective, very effective. This here has been used. I heard that it's been used by police agencies for like decades back in the day. And this one's going like 600 feet per second, 700 feet per second. And there's a benefit to that. With this, it's not as bad on my hearing if I have to use it inside for defense. It's not as like jarring. Um, it still penetrates deep enough for the FBI standards for penetration. And they're pretty cheap, actually. I am going to look into getting semi-wad cutters. They're more of a bullet shape. The reason why I want to look into that is because these don't load as easily into the cylinder. They do fine, which if I need to like do speed reloads, they're not really the best for it. But I can get away with it, and I'll probably never have to reload it if I'm fighting for my life. And so, but this is another staple. This is Americana right here. But a lot of police officers use this back in the day. This is from 1971, like I was saying. A lot of police officers were using this gun even before the 70s. This is the 5th generation that they made. It's a Model 10 versus Model 10 TAC 5. And so it's a good gun. I mean, I also have a semi-automatic that holds 17 rounds. But I necessarily don't need to use it, don't need to carry it. I mean, it's more comfortable to carry. It's lighter and thinner, and it holds more rounds. There is a benefit to a semi-automatic. One of the old police officers who used revolvers back in the day, he does the American Fighting Revolvers YouTube channel, or American Fighting Revolvers Company. He was saying that that the benefits of a semi-automatic pistol are that you don't have to do as many manipulations to the gun as much as you do with a revolver if you're fighting, like however whatever you're doing with it. And so that though it's such a great option if you need to fight for your life, protect your family, defend off animals, like a pack of dogs or something, if you're in the hood or if you're out in the wilderness. There's wild dogs in the wilderness in Africa and in other places. So semi-automatics are good. Defending against attackers at church. Like if people try to come and attack innocent people at church, that's a really great opportunity to have a semi-automatic. And if you're practicing with the mindset of using one round at a time, what that helps you accomplish is that you can be more effective, make the best use of that pistol. You can have higher success rate with it. Like you could be a very formidable opponent if you have the mindset of using accuracy, marksmanship, staying cool. under stress, under stressful situations, and make the best of it. Yeah, so I've been breaking out of the consumerism mindset myself recently. It started with a pocket knife that I had. I wanted to get a out the front knife, and look, I'm working on it, okay? But I ended up getting the out the front knife, but I didn't get it until like a year later. And so but you take what you have, whatever you have, like clothes or shoes, and you might really be wanting something something new, like you want a new pair of boots, or you want a new you want anything new. And just take some time with what you have. I'm also preaching to myself here. You take some time with what you have, and you think, do I have do does what I have meet the needs that I need it for? And if you answer yes, then maybe you can wait on getting that new thing until you actually have the space open where you need it. But if like it might not meet all your needs, like the revolver, I guess I could use it for security against for at church, um, to protect people, and I could probably be really good. I might, you don't know how many people you're gonna have to fight against if trouble ever comes. But so I guess I could do it with the revolver. That's what I'm kind of contemplating is, do I want to sell the semi-automatic and just utilize a revolver? But the thing is, the semi-automatic conceals better, so people don't know that I have a gun on me, which is it's a good benefit actually. But if I sell the semi-automatic, then I won't have that capability of being able to fight threats that are much more heavily armed or whatever. So that's where just listening to your heart, seeing what seems like it would be good to do. Oop. Oh, actually, speaking about improving things, I ordered new grips for my Model 10. They're from this company called VZ, made in America. It'll go with the American gun. And they're made out of G10, which I was hearing from the makers from VZ Grips that I might be wrong about this, but they are glass reinforced um, fiberglass, but then they soak it in resin, and so they're super hard, tough, or durable. And but the reason why I bought them is because whenever I was shooting the revolver at the range. The grip was smacking into the web of my hand, into my knuckle here, and it was like super, super painful. It's because I wasn't able to fill. The grip is more narrow at the top, and so I wasn't able to get a good grip on it. And it was basically like I was doing my best, and whenever the gun would fire, the recoil would push the back strap, which is the part that you're putting in your palm. It would shove the back strap and smack my hand, and it was actually super painful. I mean, it wasn't like super painful, but it was pretty uncomfortable. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to going to the range with the VZ Crips. I'll give you an update, show you some. I'll probably show you on the live stream what it looks like as well. As well, what I noticed is whenever I was, wait 1 second. Another reason why I upgraded my grips is because when I was shooting at the range, the oil was coming out of the cylinder, little gaps, and it was getting my hands slightly oily, and so it was like totally terrible to grip it. I was, my grip was slipping, and so because the wood is laminated, or it has like a resin that they put on top of it. And so as well as it being super small, the wood was just slick. They have checkering like in the middle of the grip, on the sides, I should say, on the grips that are on it right now. But the thing is that checkering wasn't influencing the top good enough. So I ended up just slipping around with it. And it doesn't make it safe whenever you don't have a good grip. It makes it more dangerous. Makes it dangerous. It's not really dangerous. Okay, cool. So we're about we're halfway done. You can see. So just got to do this bottom part, this side. But this came out really well. Came out really nice. The way that the threads are going is they're kind of zigzagged. It's an interesting look. Just gonna put that in there. Be right back. All right, so let's see how long this one takes. It's about 1 hour and 26 minutes in, almost 1 hour and 30. So I'm going to work at a steady pace and see how long it takes me to do this. Just so you can see the quality, the amount of time it takes to saddle stitch things. This distance is, see, I'm going to be doing about 8.5 inches of saddle stitch. All right, let's see it. Let's go. You want to listen to the Bible with me? Actually, I haven't been hearing it that much lately. Okay, so we're at an hour and 31 minutes. Not bad. 5 minutes, and we got about a third of the way. Dude. Somebody texted me that I haven't heard from in a while. Oh. It's a girl. Oh. Okay. Okay, back to the Bible. Hold on. Okay. All right, we're going to listen to the book of James, chapter 1, and probably 1st, 2nd Peter, you know? Maybe John, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. John, I don't know. I don't think there's a 4th. No, just 1st, 2nd, 3rd John. And this is going to be in the English Standard Version.
The letter of James. Chapter 1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes in the dispersion, greetings. Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds. For you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given him. But let him ask in faith with no doubting. For the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind. For that person must not suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. Let the lowly brother boast in his exaltation, and the rich in his humiliation. Because like a flower of the grass he will pass away. For the sun rises with its scorching heat, and withers the grass. Its flower falls, and its beauty perishes. So also will the rich man fade away in the midst of his pursuits. Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial. For when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life, which God has promised to those who love him. Let no one say when he is tempted, I am being tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, and he himself tempts no one. But each person is tempted when he is lured and enticed by his own desire. Then desire, when it has conceived, gives birth to sin. And sin, when it is fully grown, brings forth death. Do not be deceived, my beloved brothers. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shadow due to change. Of his own will he brought us forth by the word of truth, that we should be a kind of firstfruits of his creatures. Know this, my beloved brothers. Let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger. For the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. Therefore put away all filthiness and rampant wickedness, and receive with meekness the implanted word, which is able to save your souls. But be doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. For if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man who looks intently at his natural face in a mirror. For he looks at himself and goes away, and at once forgets what he was like. But the one who looks into the perfect law, the law of liberty, and perseveres, being no hearer who forgets, but a doer who acts, he will be blessed in his doing. If anyone thinks he is religious and does not bridle his tongue, but deceives his heart, this person's religion is worthless. Religion that is pure and undefiled before God the Father is this: to visit orphans and widows in their affliction, and to keep oneself unstained from the world.
Dude, the Bible is so good. It's so true, you know? So true.
Chapter 2.
Oh, man.
My brothers, show no partiality as you hold the faith in our Lord Jesus Christ,
It's like
the Lord of
so
glory.
valuable.
For if a man wearing a gold ring and fine clothing comes into your assembly, and a poor man in shabby clothing also comes in, and if you pay attention to the one who wears the fine clothing, and say, "You sit here in a good place," while you say to the poor man, "You stand over there," or "Sit down at my feet," have you not then made distinctions among yourselves, and become judges with evil thoughts? Listen, my beloved brothers. Has not God chosen those who are poor in the world to be rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom which he has promised to those who love him? But you have dishonored the poor man. Are not the rich the ones who oppress you, and the ones who drag you into court? Are they not the ones who blaspheme the honorable name by which you were called? If you really fulfill the royal law according to the scripture, "You shall love your neighbor as yourself,"
Oh,
you are doing well. But if you show partiality, you are committing sin, and are convicted by the law as transgressors. For whoever keeps the whole law, but fails in one point, has become guilty of all of it.
oh,
For he who said, "Do not commit adultery," also said,
do not.
"Do not murder." If you do not commit adultery, but do murder, you have become a transgressor of the law. So speak and so act as those who are to be judged under the law of liberty. For judgment is without mercy to one who has shown no mercy.
Wow.
Mercy triumphs over judgment.
Have mercy.
What good is it, my brothers, if someone says he has faith, but does not have works? Can that faith save him? If a brother or sister is poorly clothed and lacking in daily food, and one of you says to them, "Go in peace, be warmed and filled," without giving them the things needed for the body, what good is that? So also faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. But someone will say, "You have faith and I have works. Show me your faith apart from your works, and I will show you my faith by my works." You believe that God is one. You do well. Even the demons believe and shudder. Do you want to be shown, you foolish person, that faith apart from works is useless? Was not Abraham our father justified?
Did you get that? He said that if you believe, you know, you're doing good. But he said, oh wait, no, hold on. He said that if you believe, you know, what does it mean? Because even the demons believe and tremble that God, you know, Jesus is God. But the reason why they're not saved is because faith without works is dead. So if you believe that Jesus is God, but you don't act on it, right? How do you act on it? What do you do? If you believe in your heart and you confess it with your mouth that Jesus is Lord. And so that's how you're saved. But the thing is, the demons, they'll never believe in their heart and confess with their mouth that Jesus is Lord.
by works when he offered up his son Isaac on the altar. You see that faith was active along with his works, and faith was completed by his works. And the scripture was fulfilled that says, Abraham believed God, and it was counted to him as righteousness, and he was called a friend of God. You see that a person is justified by works and not by faith alone. And in the same way, was not also Rahab the prostitute justified by works when she received the messengers and sent them out by another way? For as the body apart from the spirit is dead, so also faith apart from works is dead. Chapter 3. Not many of you should become teachers, my brothers, for you know that we who teach will be judged with greater strictness. For we all stumble in many ways, and if anyone does not stumble in what he says, he is a perfect man, able also to bridle his whole body. If we put bits into the mouths of horses so that they obey us, we guide their whole bodies as well. Look at the ships also. Though they are so large and are driven by strong winds, they are guided by a very small rudder wherever the will of the pilot directs. So also the tongue is a small member, yet it boasts of great things. How great a forest is set ablaze by such a small fire! And the tongue is a fire, a world of unrighteousness. The tongue is set among our members, staining the whole body, setting on fire the entire course of life, and set on fire by hell. For every kind of beast and bird, of reptile and sea creature, can be tamed and has been tamed by mankind. But no human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil, full of deadly poison. With it we bless our Lord and Father, and with it we curse people who are made in the likeness of God. From the same mouth come blessing and cursing. My brothers, these things ought not to be so. Does a spring pour forth from the same opening both fresh and salt water? Can a fig tree, my brothers, bear olives, or a grapevine produce figs? Neither can a salt pond yield fresh water. Who is wise and understanding among you? By his good conduct, let him show his works in the meekness of wisdom. But if you have bitter jealousy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not boast and be false to the truth. This is not the wisdom that comes down from above, but is earthly, unspiritual, demonic. For where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there will be disorder and every vile practice. But the wisdom from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, open to reason, full of mercy and good fruits, impartial and sincere. And a harvest of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace.
All right. Now I'm gonna stick the thread.
Chapter 4.
This needle.
What causes quarrels and what causes fights among you? Is it not this, that your passions are at war within you? You desire and do not have, so you murder. You covet and cannot obtain, so you fight and quarrel. You do not have because you do not ask. You ask and do not receive because you ask wrongly to spend it on your passions. You adulterous people. Do you not know that friendship with the world is enmity with God? Therefore, whoever wishes to be a friend of the world makes himself an enemy of God. Or do you suppose it is to no purpose that the scripture says, he yearns jealously over the Spirit that he has made to dwell in us? But he gives more grace. Therefore it says, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Be wretched, and mourn, and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning, and your joy to gloom.
Okay.
Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will exalt you.
So what I did at the end was I went back over, and then I did a knot. I tied it, and then I did. It's I forgot it's a square knot. So I did a little square knot. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my metal anvil, flat anvil. Take my little hammer. And then I just want to tamp the I just want to tap the threads down, really get a good seal. I might use this side. So I'm going to do it with, you know, moderate pressure. And I'm going to do it on the other side. Oops. Okay, so then what that gives you are very flat, comfortable threads. So now what we got to do, rescue our scissors. This is the piece that we're going to put it on. So something that I used to make a mistake on was I would put them on the wrong side. I would match these up with the wrong side. So you just want to do a little quick look over. All right, cool. So now we're gonna put the rivets in. So we gotta find 2. And then the caps. Okay, cool. So just gonna put it through there, and then the other one, same thing. And then you want to push it through here. And then you want to take your little rivet cap and it just snaps on right there. And we're actually going to do these one at a time. So what you need is a standard rivet setter. It has a concave side. And then this side you hit. And then we need the anvil. This little guy. So this also has a slight concave. It's more, it's less than the other side, than the other one. So now you just want to take it and we're going to lay this down like this. Take this piece, vertical as possible. And then you want to get your elbow high up so that you can have a perfectly flat parallel to the table. You're going to tap it a couple times. All right, and just to set it, I'm going to do it just a couple more times. You don't want to do it too hard as I proceed to smack it. All right, so now these are mated. Now we're just going to do the other side. Check it. It's working. Compare. And that is beautiful. Look at that. It feels very good. It fits like perfectly. I'm actually very surprised on how good that came out. All right, so now we just got to stitch this part, and then this is going to stitch to the main body of the bag. Really looking forward to this. All right, so clean up our tools. Clean up our area, I mean. This here. Perfect. So here, let me readjust this. What I like to do sometimes is I'll open it up and I'll place it in facing towards me. Good view. All right, that's good. Wonderful. All right, here we go. I'm going to stitch this, the other side, and we're going to continue listening to James chapter 4.
Do not speak evil against one another, brothers. The one who speaks against a brother or judges his brother speaks evil against the law and judges the law. But if you judge the law, you are not a doer of the law, but a judge. There is only one lawgiver and judge, he who is able to save and to destroy. But who are you to judge your neighbor? Come now, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go into such and such a town and spend a year there and trade and make a profit. Yet you do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, If the Lord wills, we will live and do this or that. As it is, you boast in your arrogance. All such boasting is evil. So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is sin. Chapter 5. Come now, you rich, weep and howl for the miseries that are coming upon you. Your riches have rotted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver have corroded, and their corrosion will be evidence against you, and will eat your flesh like fire. You have laid up treasure in the last days. Behold, the wages of the laborers who mowed your fields, which you kept back by fraud, are crying out against you, and the cries of the harvesters have reached the ears of the Lord of hosts. You have lived on the earth in luxury and in self-indulgence. You have fattened your hearts in a day of slaughter. You have condemned and murdered the righteous person. He does not resist you. Be patient, therefore, brothers, until the coming of the Lord. See how the farmer waits for the precious fruit of the earth, being patient about it until it receives the early and the late rains. You also, be patient. Establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord is at hand. Do not grumble against one another, brothers, so that you may not be judged. Behold, the judge is standing at the door. As an example of suffering and patience, brothers, take the prophets who spoke in the name of the Lord. Behold, we consider those blessed who remain steadfast. You have heard of the steadfastness of Job, and you have seen the purpose of the Lord, how the Lord is compassionate and merciful. But above all, my brothers, do not swear, either by heaven or by earth, or by any other oath, but let your yes be yes, and your no be no, so that you may not fall under condemnation. Is anyone among you suffering? Let him pray. Is anyone cheerful? Let him sing praise. Is anyone among you sick? Let him call for the elders of the church, and let them pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord. And the prayer of faith will save the one who is sick, and the Lord will raise him up. And if he has committed sins, he will be forgiven. Therefore confess your sins to one another, and pray for one another, that you may be healed. The prayer of a righteous person has great power as it is working. Elijah was a man with a nature like ours, and he prayed fervently that it might not rain. And for 3 years and 6 months it did not rain on the earth. Then he prayed again, and heaven gave rain, and the earth bore its fruit. My brothers, if anyone among you wanders from the truth, and someone brings him back, let him know that whoever brings back a sinner from his wandering will save his soul from death, and will cover a multitude of sins. The first letter of Peter. Chapter 1.
Okay. Let's see. So I'm gonna go and gotta get something. I'm gonna continue this later, and we'll pick up from there. Thanks for watching. It was great having you. I appreciate your time as well as you appreciating my time. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.